Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of This Is Our Life. You don't want to hear me sing because I tried to sing once in San Antonio, and like everybody in the apartment complex
They threw
died.
rocks at you.
Yeah, so there was actually a there's a Supreme Court decision that outlaws me from singing. That's how bad my singing is. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something. William Kostrick, who is actually somebody I like and respect, on Facebook posted something, and his post dealt with, he was sharing something. His post dealt with, it was a survey done, who people dislike the most, and environmentalists and feminists are the first two, and political activists come in after that. So I wanted to talk about that, considering what's been going on, and he was asking, what can we do? I mean, the post had to do, it was a positive post in the sense that he's asking, what are some solutions to this? So I'm going to share my opinion on that. First of all, I think we need to inform people better. Let me give you, let me start by giving you two examples of activism. One, you have Cop Block. I went on Cop Block the other week, and I enjoyed my time out there. The people doing it were very professional. They were not abusive to anyone. I don't know where my phone is. It's up here somewhere. I took my phone out. I wasn't out there very long, but I took my phone out, and when the cop stopped somebody, I took the phone out and was recording, and there were two other people recording as well. But none of us were rude or abusive to anybody. And let me tell you, that makes a difference. That impacts people. Now let's take the so-called Robin Hooders. Really don't think that's the best term for what they do, but because Robin Hood didn't steal from the rich and give to the poor. What Robin Hood did was he took items from the rich which they had stolen from the poor and simply returned the items. But anyway, and there are plenty of videos. You can go and find the videos yourself, where these people harass and berate the meter maids. And that's totally uncalled for. When people see that, they don't like that. They don't want to have anything to do with people who behave that way. When they see cop blockers, they stop. People were stopping us. Oh, who are you? What are you doing? And we talked to them and told them what we were up to, and they liked it. And people see professional behavior, and they respect that. But when they see behavior like, calling meter maids names and harassing them, and people don't want anything to do with people who do things like that. There is proper civil disobedience and illogical civil disobedience. Frankly, there have been plenty of times where I think people should have defended themselves against being chained, against being caged, against being kidnapped by the police, and they haven't done it. I don't know if I could find the video now, but several years ago I found a video of a middle-aged gentleman that the police were harassing and trying to arrest, and there were two cops and him. His wife was recording from her cell phone, and she wasn't interfering or anything, but he wrestled the cops and he ran off. That's all he had to do. He didn't have to beat them up. But that, I find, that video, you could probably find it, because unless YouTube has taken it down, as they take down a lot of things that the state doesn't like.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, but You can probably find it because it had a lot of views. It probably has millions of views by now. And it's not a new video, so because it's not a new video, it may be harder to find. But then again, because it's had so many views, maybe it would be easier to find. But anyway, you know, here are some things that I've suggested to people, and I've been shot down every time. And if you really want to know what's been going on, you can look at my videos, and you can get my word for what's been going on. But, you know, informing people. I don't see that people are being informed. Holding a sign, yelling. I don't see that that's helping anybody. There are all sorts of ways to inform people. Mass mailings. Get a job with a newspaper, delivering newspapers. Make a bunch of flyers. Stick them in there with the newspapers when you're rolling them up, and sticking them in the bags. If I can learn to talk.
The words are sticking to his tongue.
Yeah. This way you're not harassing people, you're not bothering people, you're
informing people.
Yeah, you're informing people. They're not having to take time out of their day.
Unless they want to.
Yeah, and so that's one thing. Oh, will you be fired for doing that? Maybe. Maybe not. There are a lot of...
If you want your job bad enough, you better read the rules first.
Yeah. Going door to door and just putting a flyer on the door. You don't have to knock. Just go up there, put a flyer on the door. Take some tape with you if you need tape to tape it on there. Again, that way you're not taking people out of their day. If they take it off the door, they look at it. If they care, they'll keep it. If not, then they'll throw it away.
Sometimes the dog in the house will knock for you.
Yeah.
He'll bark.
Another thing you can do is go through parking lots, put flyers on cars. People do that all the time.
As far as I know, it's not illegal.
Yeah.
Unless they've outlawed that.
Yeah. Another thing you can do is go door to door and knock and try and talk to people politely. Don't yell at them. Don't call them names. You want to know why I don't like the people in Keene? The meter maid, I have nothing against her. She hasn't done me wrong. I'm not going to yell and scream and
enforcing the law.
Yeah, and call her names. I may not like what she's doing. I may disagree with her, but I'm not going to berate her. I'm not going to harass her. That's ridiculous. People see the harassment and they want nothing to do with it. Considering how long the Free State Project has been going on,
it's not very successful.
Yeah, there are I'd say the vast majority of people in the state don't even know about it.
Or don't want to know about it.
I mean, I've talked to people who've never heard of it before. And I would say that's the majority of people I've talked to here. So, it needs, people need to learn. Another issue is disagreement. For those who don't know, I'm from Franco, Spain. And, I'm finding the United States to be more and more and more like it was in Spain under Franco. I'm also finding that many groups up here, you cannot disagree. If you disagree, you've committed a mortal sin. If you criticize, you've committed a mortal sin. That's wrong. What about free speech? What about freedom of speech? Because we can't have that now, can we?
No, we have to stifle the people who question us.
Yeah. Now, I haven't found the Free State Project acting that way. I found Free Keene, Keeniacs, Robin Hooders, etc. They act that way.
Because everything has to be done their way.
Yeah, I mean, they're Ian's minions, okay? Pure and simple. And that's something that needs to be changed. There are many good things about Free Talk Live, for example, but there are also some very negative things. To me, it's outside of the okay, it has a particular political
agenda,
which I don't necessarily disagree with, but the way they go about some of it is ridiculous. There's Shire Sharing, which is a very good organization with some very good people. And as a matter of fact, great people, and it's a great organization. Not simply good, but great.
Here's your stuff that you printed off of. Try to move it before it tips over.
Okay. And then there were comments the other day about, because a lot of people have moved up here.
Oh, God.
And they've found there is not this community like they were told there was. And some of these people become despondent, and they've committed suicide. And I actually had people say good. I've had people tell me that's good.
And that's stupid.
Yeah, where's the compassion? I have compassion for these people. Other people move up here and become addicted to drugs. In part, I think, because there are so many drug addicts involved with this, at least in the Keene area. I don't know about the rest of the state, but in the Keene area. I have nothing against drugs. You want to do drugs, that's your thing. But
well, you fry your brains, your own fault.
And if you want help getting off kicking the drugs, we need to be there to help people. That's one thing I don't see outside of Shire Sharing. I don't see a whole lot of community involvement. And Manchester, they have open carry litter pickup. I love that idea. I would love to see that implemented in this area. But when you're rude to people, you harass people, that doesn't go over too well. Let me give you some examples of some things that have happened, although you can look at the other videos to get more details. It was posted that meet at the CAC, as a strategy session before cop blocking. Okay, well, I took their word for it, so I went over to the CAC. Nobody told me I couldn't go over there. I opened the door. It was unlocked. If you don't want people walking in, keep the blanking door locked. We keep our doors locked. It's kind of common sense that you lock your doors. And I asked if I could use the bathroom. They said, sure. And I used the bathroom, and I left. They told me, well, everybody's already downtown. So I went downtown. It wasn't until later I got a rather rude email. And some other rude comments, and now people are saying, well, that's private property. I never said it wasn't private property.
You knocked on the door.
Yeah, I knocked on the door.
You weren't obligated by law to let him in.
Yeah, and nobody.
What are you going to do when it comes Halloween? You have trick-or-treaters knocking on the door.
Oh, no.
You get the fuck off my property?
Yeah, I mean, and then here's another issue that I have with what's going on up here. There are some very violent people. People who have used force. People who have pulled guns on people. I'm talking about activists.
And you applaud their actions.
Yeah. And we know some of these people, or we knew them. We don't know them anymore, thankfully. Yet you defend these people.
And act like they're doing the right thing. And
yeah, my wife made a rhetorical comment.
And you got your ass up in the air.
Yeah.
What the hell?
And you all need to figure out exactly what it is that you dislike about it. Don't say it's one thing and then, I disprove your point and you decide it's something else, like the CAC, violence, because we haven't used violence. Neither one of us has used violence. Like I've said in the past, or in some of those earlier videos, I haven't been in a fight since high school. Okay? 10th or 11th grade. That was the last time I've been violent. Okay? And then somebody sent me a question. I didn't bother looking at the whole message. Do you have guns? None of your business. None of your business if we have guns or not. Is it any of our business if you have guns or not? No. Don't be asking me a question like that. It's none of your business.
That's invasion of privacy, asshole.
Here's another issue with the Keene area activists. They keep a running record of what people post online, just like the government does.
That's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, are you paranoid?
Yeah. Paranoid, delusional, schizophrenic.
Yeah, I think a lot of the activists in the Keene area have a thought disorder. Or something's wrong with them.
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong with them, honey.
Because
nuttier than a fruitcake.
First of all, why are you keeping a ongoing, why are you keeping a running record of what people post online? That versus what people actually do. So somebody makes a rhetorical comment, somebody becomes emotional, and you take that as if they've actually done harm to someone.
And right now I have every damn right to become emotional.
Yet those people who have done harm...
No, my stresses and you never will.
Those people who have done harm, you defend them. People choking, punching, beating up, pulling guns and knives on people. Actually stabbing people, cutting people. Those people you defend. You don't ostracize them. Hypocrites. And, so these are some of the issues, from my perspective, that need to be dealt with. I don't have a problem with the idea of trying to deal with the whole parking thing. As a matter of fact, I have an idea of my own, which is similar to what the so-called Robin Hooders are doing. Similar, not the same. I'm not going to harass anybody. That's not my point. I don't need to harass anyone. I'm gonna eventually come up with a card. I keep coming up with different ideas, different names, different things to put on the cards. And we'll just put the card on the car, put some money in the meter, and walk away. If the meter maid is there or not, doesn't matter. We're not going to harass the meter maid. We're not going to follow the meter maid. People see that kind of thing and they do not like it. Okay? My wife has pointed out to me that she notices that a lot of the people, at least in the Keene area, seem to only want to smoke pot while open carry. What's the point in that? If that's all you want, you can go to Colorado for all I care. Go to Texas. I don't know. Go to California. I want more than being able to open carry while smoking a joint. I don't even do that. Although my wife is going to be doing chemo and radiation, so anyway.
But there are other things that will combat nausea too.
Yeah. So.
And they're called herbs.
So hopefully, I think I've made my point. I think I've provided some good ideas. And William, I don't have anything against you. So you're one person I actually respect. I don't think I've met you yet, but I respect you. And hopefully I've given some constructive ideas as to how to deal with the issue that you were posting about. And thank you. Bye.